Well, guys, I'm in my driveway right now, and I'm headed off to work, and I'm taking off. So I just wanted you guys to see how much time it takes me to get to work. Hopefully, by the time I get to work, I'll be done with this rant. So that's what this is going to be. So anyway, just a conversation I had today with my woman, and I bought some ice cream from Aldi's, and I'm like, okay. I took it to work with me, and there's a girl that sits with me at lunchtime. You know, she sits with all of us. You know, and she recognized it and said, "Oh, gelato," and I'm like, "Yeah, whatever." And she said, "Where you get this from, Aldi's?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got it from Aldi's." I was impressed. I'm like, "Okay, she knows all that." So in my mind, I'm thinking, "Okay, gelato. This is some kind of brand name ice cream, or something like that, and whatever." Which women and only gay people pay attention to stuff like that. Whatever, straight guys don't break stuff down to such a minute thing or whatever. And I'm not taking a stab at gay people or whatever. They're just more perceptive of stuff, you know. And but straight guys don't care, you know. It's stuff that only gay guys and women would even enter their brain. But anyway, so I didn't think nothing of it, whatever, you know. We ate some of it and whatever, everything, whatever, and that was over or whatever. But I had some left over, so I brought it home with me, put it in the freezer, and here we are a couple of days later, and my girl looks in the refrigerator. I mean, I look in the refrigerator, I see it still in there, and I know she likes ice cream, so I'm like, okay. I mentioned to her, "Hey, you know, there's some ice cream in the refrigerator if you want some, whatever." And she's gonna say, "That's not ice cream, that's gelato." And I'm like, "What? You know, that's not ice cream, that's gelato." And I'm like, "What's the difference? Ice cream, so it's still ice cream." No, it's not ice cream, it's gelato. So now the natural male brain is gonna say, "Well, what the hell is gelato then?" I don't know, but it's not ice cream. Now, I'm like, okay, it's not ice cream. What is it? I don't know. How can you argue with me over something that you don't know what the hell you're talking about? You know, so I'm like, it's ice cream. Like I said, maybe it's a fancy name for ice cream. Maybe it's ice cream in Italian. It sounds Italian anyway. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's Italian ice cream, or whatever. Or they pronounce it's another word for, which I was right about that to a certain extent. But she was gonna argue me down like, "No, it is gelato. It's not ice cream, or whatever." But you don't know what it is then. So we get into a big argument over that bullshit, over some goddamn ice cream. And I'm like, let me get to the bottom of this shit. So I go to YouTube and I ask, what is gelato? And it comes up on the screen. Gelato is and it's not something that's strange, that people would get confused. There's a common misconception that gelato is ice cream, but it's not ice cream, blah, 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 blah. So, and it goes on to say that it's, different ingredients. It doesn't have eggs, whereas ice cream has eggs, and it has more cream than it has whatever. But there's a recipe. It's a difference in the recipe, whatever, Now, I ate some of this stuff while I was at the table, and it tastes like ice cream to me. It essentially is ice cream, but with a few different ingredients and whatever, different ratio of the same ingredients, and some ingredients it doesn't have, in different proportions and whatever, blah, 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 But she couldn't let it go and be like, okay, you know, ice cream, whatever, gelato, you know, he don't know no better, you know, because he's not gay. But that became a big argument. So I'm like, okay, you know, so I showed the YouTube, you know, explanation and everything, and she's like, oh, okay, whatever. I'm like, so we were both right, but you had no reason to blow up at me. This shouldn't have become an argument before I go to work or whatever. I gotta go to work all fucked up in the head because, you know, I'm arguing about some damn ice cream. So, but anyway, it just brings me to the point. These women are so argumentative these days, and it's because of this bullshit that they watch and they look on YouTube. I watch YouTube. I look at camping videos and, you know, drone videos, how to fly your drone better, and, you know, the newest drone that's coming out and stuff like that and everything, and, you know, hiking videos, and, you know, I watch some of the doom and gloom stuff and whatever, the prepping channels and everything, stuff like that. What does she watch? She watches Jerry Springer, Judge Mathis, all these black world star hip hop shit, you know, just bitches being argumentative and shit, whatever. Just argumentative ass black bitches and shit. Sometimes I hear this shit and whatever. I hear some black bitch fucking hollering and screaming and shit. You know, I'm like, what the fuck is that you listening to? You know, she got where she turns it down or whatever. Like somebody watching porn or whatever. They don't want anybody to know they're watching porn. So that's porn for women. You know, that argumentative bullshit. You know, and then they watch that shit all day, and it gets into their head, and you find yourself in an argument over some bullshit, and you're like, how the fuck did I get into an argument over some bullshit? You know, you be like, what the fuck did I do? You know, and here you are in an argument over some bullshit. You know, I mean, now don't get me wrong, guys. We're not gonna break up or something like that over this bullshit, whatever. We get into arguments over food and stuff all the time and all that kind of stuff. This is another, you know, it's just that you don't want to be all fucked up and razzled in the head before you go to work and shit. You know, going to work is already bad enough, but you got to be all fucked up before you can even leave the house to go to work or whatever. But anyway, that bullshit, that stuff is on the internet and on television, all these reality shows with all these bitches, you know, arguing and fussing back and forth and shit, with all that insanity, you know, that shit is demonic because it gets into your spirit, it gets into your shit, and that shit spills over out of the screen into your life. You know, you'll have your woman acting stupid and picking fights with you and arguing with you and shit, and it's just bullshit, you know, and it's just a condition of the human fucking species and shit to gravitate toward that kind of bullshit. You know, us men, we really like watching superhero movies. We like to see, you know, Captain America kick the shit out of somebody and whatever and all this and everything, but that's fantasy and shit. But these bitches want to watch real emotion of people, you know, going to jail, you know, the court shows and the sentencing and shit and whatever, and the raw emotion. They want to see the pain in people, you know. They want to see the anguish and whatever. They want to watch Jerry Springer. They want to watch, yo, You Are Not the Father. They want to see this guy go crying and whatever, and all the emotional stuff, whatever, and the woman go crying and run off and whatever, you know, because, you know, she got 10 different baby fathers and shit, you know, and people get entertainment from this shit, you know. And I don't watch that stuff and whatever. You know, I'll look at it every once in a while. I'll see it. It'll pop up, and while I look at it, like, that's some sad shit and whatever. But it's not something that I'll watch back to back over and over again, because it doesn't, you know, I don't like seeing people in pain. I don't like seeing people in anguish. I don't like seeing people, you know, feeling bad or in a bad mood, whatever. I want happiness and I want fucking peace, you know. And anything that's gonna stop that from happening is my enemy, pretty much, you know. And see, we get this shit way back in the Roman days and shit. People used to watch people get torn to pieces by lions and everything, and watch people kill each other, you know, with swords and shit, whatever, you know. They used to come to crucifixions when they first crucified Jesus and whatever, you know. They nailed him to a cross and whatever, and crucified him. People came up with that bullshit, you know, evil ass shit, you know, to torture people. And the thing is, people would come there to watch this shit happen. There was entertainment to people. People were entertained by this bullshit. You know, they actually came in droves to see somebody get torn to pieces or tortured to fucking death. You know, I hate human beings for being capable of that shit, but I know that human beings are not capable of that by themselves. That is some demonic shit, you know. And demons get into people and make them do stuff far worse than what human beings are normally capable of doing on their own without the demonic, you know, spirit getting into them. I'm pulling into the job parking lot now. But I don't care how bad a person does something to me or how much I hate a person. Or, I mean, they could kill my mother, my father, my sister, you know, and everybody I love. They can kill every person, but I couldn't. Now, I'd shoot them in the head. I mean, that's point blank. That goes without saying. You know, they get one to the head. That's it. You know, but I'm not going to sit there and carve them to pieces little bit by little bit, you know, and just, you know, get enjoyment from it and whatever. I'm not going to do that. You know, I couldn't do it. I couldn't sit there and listen to a person holler and scream, no matter how much I hated them, no matter how much I wanted to get even with them, no matter how much they did to me that I, you know, hate and whatever. I would not, you know, cut a person to pieces, you know, like that, because I just couldn't do it. I couldn't bring myself to doing it, whatever, you know. Now, I'm no softy and whatever, you know. I might beat the shit out of them or whatever, or maybe I'll shoot them in the kneecaps first or whatever, you know, and let them suffer for a little bit and whatever. But I'm not gonna go medieval on somebody over some shit and whatever. But people are capable of doing that. They have to be possessed by a demon to take them to that level of evil, you know. And when your woman watches that bullshit and whatever and gets entertainment from it and seems to get joy from watching it, whatever. And I understand the feeling like, okay, I see these people in bad shape or whatever. It makes me feel better about my life and whatever. I don't feel better about my life seeing other people, you know, in pain, seeing other people, you know, fucked up. You know, I feel bad for them. You know, I feel bad I live in a world where there are people that are that stupid to get themselves in that kind of a bullshit lifestyle and whatever. But gotta get my badge. I'm in the parking lot now and I'm parked, so I'm still getting ready to go. But anyway, I'm at work now. You guys see how long it takes me to get to work. You know, my chains and stuff are all tangled up. I gotta wear my flare, you know. So, but anyway, tell me, guys, if you ever got into an argument over some bullshit with your woman or with any other person or whatever that just wants to argue about some damn shit from a position they don't know shit about. They don't have no idea what they're talking about, but yet they're gonna argue tooth and nail, you know, to the death over something, and they really don't know what the hell they're talking about. And it's frustrating to you because you actually know what you're talking about, or even if you don't know what you're talking about, you're like, okay, well, let's find out or whatever. You know, you're not gonna argue from a position like you're an expert on it, whatever. You understand what I'm saying? If I don't know the answer to something, I'm not gonna argue it like I'm a professional or like I know what I'm talking about. If I don't know what I'm talking about, you know, I'll concede and I'll go and find somebody that does know what they're talking about. You know, like, you know, case in point on the job, you know, are we doing overtime or are we not doing overtime? Now, nobody really knows, but you got some people that'll be like, oh yeah, we're doing overtime this week. You know, now, do you know for sure? Where did you hear this from? Who said it? I don't know who said it, but we are. You know, well, if nobody of any authority said it, how the hell can you assume that it's true? You know, unless somebody of authority that knows what the hell they're talking about says it. I still got my my light. I love this thing. But anyway, I almost forgot my safety glasses and my vest. Jeez. All right, guys. That's it for this one. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.